Hey everyone, and welcome. And today we'll be talking about the Calico Guardian. So over here we can see the image that the analysis team has given us and what an amazing job they have done to help break down every small little aspect within the Guardian itself. But let's dive a little bit deeper now. So let's start on this side over here. So over here we can see the Guardian itself and in all of its beauty, honestly. It's such a fantastic ship. It's beautiful. And it's massive in comparison to most other ships for sure. So this image over here was more so like the second stage final product of the concept imaging that came about. And I mean, like we can see over here, just from the a view from the front itself. Look how beautiful that thing looks, even just in the concept art itself and the concept modeling. So obviously they were able to put paint behind it or put colors to it and everything like that. And now we can see a little bit more. We can see over here some turrets, 1, 2, 3, and I know there's another one below this section over here. And then over here in the front as well, we can see these little outlets over here, which I believe is also part of the weaponry system. And this not only on this side, it's also on the other side as well. We can see the bridge from here, and then just the nose being made of pure like window or whatever material the window might be made of, because I don't think it's going to be glass. We can see how long it is, and that's for a valid reason, and take note of that because we'll be coming back to that a little bit later. So over here we can see a little bit of the cartography section, and down here you can see little avatars, just to show you how large this ship really is. So let's go a little bit deeper into this. So over here we're going to also see a little bit more of the avatars in comparison towards the sheer size of some of the objects on the Guardian itself. So like I said, we have the nose, which has like that pointing shape, and right over here we have another floor right underneath the bridge. So take note of that because we'll be coming back to that shortly. So over here we can see the captain's bridge with the cartography section, which they'll be able to chart. And for I not only think it's maybe just the captain's bridge, I also think it's maybe, say, if you have passengers on board or anything like that, that they could also see that cartography section as well, as to know where they currently are within the metaverse. So like I said before, there's another turret down here. So as we observed, there's 1, 2, 3, and then on the other side there's 4 currently, and then these little outlets over here, which I guess would be making it 5 and 6, but those sections aren't technically turrets, but I mean they're still part of the weaponry system, I believe. So over here we can see a little bit more of like the avatars or the characters with how the size of this Guardian just is, and the flooring system over here, as and we'll be going into this and we'll be breaking this down actually a little bit more over here. So over here we can see just this an awesome breakdown over here of the Guardian itself. So we have the bridge over here with the amount of crew that you're going to need in this section alone, in order to pilot this enormous ship. So over here as well we see transports that are happening between the crew, so we take note it's over here, and there's another one over here as well. Then we have the crew's quarter bridge, which they will obviously like give us a little more detail as to what will be inside here at a later stage. And then we see the escape pods, we see the armory, where this is going to be important, where you're going to need to make sure to stock up on ammunition, what small things you might need, maybe say when landing on a planet, and then obviously ensuring that you have the sufficient amount of ammunition depending on where you're going. So over here as well we take observation as to see the turrets again, and then over here down here, this section over here where we can see the little character as well. I would say this is your loading bay over here, which will basically be able to take in obviously whatever it is that you are supplying or stocking up on, depending on what you're going to do for that duration that you're out. So over here as well, we can see a little bit of a crew area, a hydroponics, and then also the engine area as well. And then obviously the small little cartography area as well. But now something to just take note of as well is this little disc on top, which I believe is somewhat of like a enhanced radar for the Guardian. But you know, that's all speculation, but at the end of the day, that's such a cool concept to think about. So if we take what we know now a little bit about the Calico Guardian, and we take like, what modules do you think we should be getting in it? And when we look at just the module list and the component list itself and everything like that, we'd say like, you know, because it's a capital ship, we can basically get basically almost all of them. Depending on how many module slots there are, obviously you wouldn't be able to get all of them, but in order to equip all of them, I would say you would possibly be able to basically equip all of them, depending on how many module slots there are, obviously. And depending on what your mission is going to be. Say you're fighting, then I would say you get like a fighter with salvage drones, and maybe a bomber's bay, and then maybe even ammunition. If you're going on a long exploration, which the explorer drones are there for, having a hydroponics in order to be self-sufficient or self-sustaining in the metaverse itself while exploring is probably something you're going to need basically. And then as well as we see over here, there's the theater and the art gallery. Just imagine having a theater on your Calico Guardian and being able to explore the metaverse while watching Netflix, for instance. But on that note, let's move a little bit further in here, and we're going to dive into a little bit deeper and break down the sections on the Calico. So over here we can see a little bit more of the, like, I would say like the crew area, or the area where you're going to be able to just basically see outside of the Guardian itself. And what we've done is we've gone and broken it down a little bit more even. So over here we can see a little bit of what seems to be a crew area over here. This section down here is like a component area, or the modules that you add onto it. And we reckon this is also probably going to be part of the hydroponics section. And these are all from this angle, it looks a little bit as though each of these areas are broken down into floors. So this is over here, this would be floor 1, floor 2 down here, and then as you can see over here, there's a little bit of like a feet sticking out, and this would be the 3rd floor over here. So over here as well, we can see a little bit more of like the explorer drones section over here, and you know, them being part of the concept art for this. So it just goes to show, you know, that probably depending on like what kind of playstyle you have, whether it's going to be missiles or drones and so on, this will probably be the bay in which it'll probably be stored within here. So if we move a little bit on, we can see a little bit more of like the rescue drone module that we were talking about earlier on over here with the escape pods. And then not only that, but as well as with where these little modules might be stored would be basically within what this would be, what it looks like basically at the end of the day. So over here as well, we can see a little bit of like the ship charm, the vintage orbital, where it boosts the stats of your ship, tier 5 charm, and the hit points by 500 basically, and it's a perk, which is something really cool to have basically at the end of the day. So if we go up here a little bit more, we can go a little bit more into detail with each of the sections. So over here we can obviously see the Guardian skin, and the skin that they've offered for people and so on. And just look how cool this looks. It changed the cartography section completely from a blue orbital to a red orbital. And over here, as I said earlier on, taking note of, there is a small glow going on down here. So here is the bridge currently, and down here we can see another cartography area. So I would say that the bridge over here is broken up, as we can see down here again, that this is the bridge itself, and then down here may be more of like an observatory of the metaverse itself and so on, where people can come down here, see where they are in the in the metaverse itself, and also see out the front of the Guardian. So, but not only that, but it may be also a talking point or a strategic room for people to, or for the captain and the crew to come together in order to, strategize as to what might be going on outside. So over here we can see a little bit more as well of the sheer size of the Explorer drones alone, in comparison towards a little avatar. And then over here as well we can see a little bit more of the concept arts of how the Explorer drones would be on the planet itself, capturing data for you, mapping out, what resources might be on the planet itself, and what kind of activity has also been on this planet. So not only from this image over here, but we go down here as well to this image, and then over here as well, where we see the drones landing on the planet itself. And how cool is that to actually be able to see this within the art itself? So if we take the Guardian and we take it in comparison just to sheer size of the other ships, we can see the O-Pod over here on the left, the Packlight, which is a little bit larger than the O-Pod, and then we can see the next one over here, and then we can see the Guardian over here, and then we can also just see the sheer size of these. So the large ones, which is this one here in the middle, is from 60 to 130. The Packlight, which is regarded in the medium range, is from 32 to 50, and then the O-Pod as well is within the medium range itself. Then obviously, since the Guardian is a capital ship, it goes between 200 to 400, and over here we can see the little bit of stats just for the Guardian alone. So the length is between 300, the width is 160 meters, and then the ship's height is 55 meters, and then the crew slots is 20. So just imagine all of these small little things that you can have on your Guardian, and being able to fly through the metaverse, like changing your playstyle as you go along, adding more modules, adding more components in order to better your experience in the metaverse. But there's still so much more for us to see within this metaverse itself, and I look forward to showing you more of that. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.